الشير ظاهر عندكم؟
يا مستر.
تمام. طيب خلاص احنا هنبدأ إن شاء الله بقى لأنه كده التايم. طيب. Today we will learn 3 lessons. Each lesson will take 20 minutes. The first lesson factorize a quadratic trinomial in the form x squared plus bx plus c. For example, x squared plus 6x plus 8 is called a trinomial. Trinomial and x squared means that's the trinomial from the second degree. Second degree means quadratic. We say quadratic trinomial. First of all, we look at the last sign, the sign of the last term, which is positive. Here,
Positive 8.
positive. Just the sign, not 8. Just the sign. Sign is positive. Positive. Then we search for two numbers. Their product is 8 and their sum is 6. Then our strategy here is product sum. Product is 8 and sum is positive 6. Factorizing the trinomial 6x squared plus 6x plus 8 do as the following. We know before that we open two parentheses like this. We open two parentheses like this, in this kind, and factorize x squared to x times x. We factorize x squared to x times x. Then our strategy here is the last term is positive sign. Then our strategy is a product and sum. We search for two numbers. Their sum, the product is 8 and their sum is 6. We try to get two numbers. Their product is 8 and their sum is 6. The two numbers is positive 2 and positive 4. Their product is 8 and their sum is 6. Another example. Our strategies here of the lesson is product sum or product difference. We use the product sum if the sign of the last term is positive. If the sign of the last term is negative, then we use the strategy product difference. Then the last example, we use the product sum. And now we'll take another example. Here we can say, told me the strategy, our strategy here. Sumaya.
We will factorize two numbers. If we add them, it will be the sum. It will be a -5.
Okay, and the product is 6. The product
6.
Then the strategy is product sum. Product sum, because of the last term sign is positive. Then positive means sum. Product sum. We search for two numbers. Their product 6 and their sum is -5. To find, we find that the two numbers is -2 and -3. Their product is positive 6 and their sum is -5. So factorize x squared minus 5x plus x plus 6 equal x minus 2 times x minus 3. Another example. Here the strategy is the last term sign is positive. The strategy is we can say the strategy is product sum, because of this, the last sign is positive. Positive means sum, product sum. Then we search for two numbers, their product is 6 and their sum is positive 5. We find that the two numbers is positive 2 and positive 3. Then x plus 2 times x plus 3 is the factorization of x squared plus 5x plus 6. It's too easy to know that the last term sign is positive. Then we search for two numbers, their product is the last term and their sum is the middle term coefficient. Here the last term sign is negative. So we search for two numbers, their product is 6. Their product is 6. And their difference here, the last term is negative. Then we search for two numbers, their difference is 5. And ignore the sign. Ignore the sign to get the two numbers. First, we ignore the two numbers, the sign of the two numbers, and look at the last term sign. The last term sign here is negative. The last term here is negative. So we use the strategy. Product difference, because of the last sign is negative. Product difference. Then we search for two numbers, their product is 6 and their difference is 5. And their difference is 5.
Negative 6 plus 1.
Yes, negative 6. But we here, to make it easy, search for two numbers, their product 6. Ignore the sign. Ignore the sign. Okay? Ignore the sign. We search for two numbers, their product 6. But the sign here, we use it for what?
1 by 6 and 2 by 3.
I don't hear you. Pardon. I don't hear you. Again.
1 by 6 and 2 by 3.
2 by 3. The two numbers, we search for two numbers, their product 6. Ignore the sign. The two numbers, their product is 6 and their difference is 5. Product 6 and difference 5. 1 and 6. 1 and 6. But here, the two signs, one of them take the negative sign and the other takes the positive sign, which take the sign of the middle term is a greater number. And we factorize x squared as x times x. And then the two numbers product is negative 6. We here say negative 6 and their sum negative 5. The two numbers is negative 6 and positive 1, because of negative 6 times 1 is negative 6 and their sum negative 6 plus 1 equal negative 5. Then we can use the strategy product difference and ignore the signs. Ignore the signs. After that, we put the signs after get the two numbers. Two numbers, their product 6 and their sum 5 and their difference 5. Then the two numbers 1 and 6. 1 and 6, we put 1 and 6 in the two parentheses like this, 1 and 6, and the greater one, which is 6, takes the middle term sign, which is negative. And this remark says if the product is negative, if the product is negative, then the sign of the two numbers are different. One of them negative and the other positive. And the greater of them add the same sign of the middle term, which is negative in this example. Factorize x squared plus 56 minus 15x. Here our trinomial unarranged. Then we rearrange it. as x squared minus 15x plus 56. We arrange it as x squared minus 15x plus 56 because of the powers of x squared, then x. After that, arrange the terms x squared minus 15x plus 56. Then we factorize the x squared as x times x, and we search for two numbers. Their product is 56, and their sum, because of the sign is positive, their sum is 15. The two numbers is 7 times 5. The two numbers takes the sign of the middle term, negative and negative. If the last term is positive, the two signs are the same, the middle term. And we search for two numbers, their product is the last term, and their sum is the coefficient of x, or the middle term. Coefficient here is 15. Then we search for two numbers, their product is 56, and their sum is negative 15. Then the two numbers negative 7 and negative 8. Maybe we factorize it as 56. We search for two numbers product 56. They are 7 and 8. Maybe negative 7, negative 8. We here say 7 times 8. And the two signs will be the same as the middle term. Then if we ignore the sign first, then we put the sign as the middle term sign. The two signs are the same and the same like the middle term. The second one, x squared plus xy minus 12y squared. Then we can factorize x squared as x times x. X times x. And the last term, its sign is negative. Then the strategy is product difference. Then we search for two numbers, their product is 12, and their difference equal 1. Two numbers, there also can say two numbers, their product is 12, and
12
their okay, I hear you.
12 and 1.
12 and 1. The difference between 12 and 1 equal 1. The difference here, difference negative. We search for difference. Difference equal 1? No. Difference between 12 and 1. We search for two numbers, their product 12, and their difference 1 here. You can say? Three times 4 equal 12, and their difference equal 1. Then we factorize 12y squared as 4y and 3y, and the greater one takes positive, which is 4y. 4y takes positive, and 3y takes negative. Then the factorization x plus 4y, x minus 3y. Okay, understand?
Yes.
Here, we have a trinomial, but not a quadratic. We have a trinomial from the fourth degree, and we have here, this is x squared. This is x squared, not x. Okay, factorize x to the power 4 to x squared times x squared. And here, the last term sign is negative. We search for two numbers, their product 10 and their difference, because of the sign is negative, their difference is 3. Two numbers, their product 10, 2 times 5, and their difference 3. And the greater one of them take the middle term sign, which is negative. So we factorize as 5y times 2y equal 10y. Negative 5y times 2y equal negative 10. The middle term sign is negative. The greater one take negative because of the sign of the middle term is negative. Here, 3, a to the power 3 plus 9a squared minus 120a This is not a quadratic, trinomial, but not quadratic. We see a to the power 3 in the first term, a to the power 2, and a in the last term. We can take a as a common, You know, common? And here we can take a common from numbers, which is 3, 9, and 120. We can take 3 as a common because of 3 divisible by 3, 9 divisible by 3, 120 divisible by 3. And takes a as a common because of all the terms contains a, but we take the common which has the lowest power, which is 1. Then we take 3a as common. 3a. When we take 3a common, we divide by 3a. 3a to the power c divided by 3a equals 3 divided 3 equal 1 here. A to the power 3 divided by a equal a to the power 2. 9 divided by 3 equal 3. A to the power 2 divided a equal a. Minus 120. A divided by 3a. 120 divided 3 equal 40. A divided a equal 1. Then we have a trinomial in the form of a squared plus 3a minus 40. We can factorize it into 2 parentheses as we learned before. A times a. We search for 2 numbers. Their product is 40 and their difference, is 3. Which 2 numbers? Their product is 40 and their difference is 3. We can say 2 numbers, their product 40. Now we ignore the sign. We ignore the sign, but we search for 2 numbers, their product is 40 and their difference. Why difference? Because the last term
Negative
side
8 and negative 5 and 8.
Excellent. Negative 5 and 8. Their product is 40 and their difference is you can take a screenshot of the screen. Now we